No, only religious people do not have a monopoly on morality. People from all walks of life, religious or secular, can have moral beliefs and act in ways that reflect these beliefs. Morality is a complex and multifaceted concept that can be rooted in various sources beyond religion, such as philosophy, culture, personal experiences, and innate human tendencies. Many individuals who are not religious still have strong moral beliefs, and these beliefs often align with those of religious people in terms of values like fairness, kindness, and justice. These secular moral systems typically arise from humanistic, philosophical, or psychological foundations rather than divine authority. Humanism. Secular humanism, for example, is a worldview that emphasizes reason, ethics, and justice without requiring religious belief. Humanists believe in the capacity of humans to live ethical lives based on reason, empathy, and a sense of shared humanity. Humanism places value on human rights, equality, and the well-being of others, and these values are grounded in a secular understanding of human flourishing, not in religious dogma. Philosophical ethics. Several ethical philosophies provide frameworks for moral behavior without reference to a deity or religion. Some examples include Utilitarianism, proposed by thinkers like Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill, argues that actions are moral if they promote the greatest good for the greatest number. This approach to ethics is not based on religious teachings, but on a rational consideration of consequences. Deontology, associated with philosopher Immanuel Kant, posits that morality is based on adherence to duty and rules. Kant's ethical system suggests that certain actions are inherently right or wrong, regardless of their outcomes, and does not require belief in God or religion. Virtue ethics, rooted in the teachings of Aristotle, focuses on developing good character traits, virtues, like courage, wisdom, and generosity. This approach does not depend on religious belief, but on cultivating a flourishing life through ethical behavior. Some moral behaviors can also be understood through the lens of evolutionary biology and psychology. Research suggests that humans have evolved a sense of morality because it aids in social cooperation, group cohesion, and the survival of the species. Many moral traits such as empathy, fairness, and reciprocity are observed in both humans and non-human animals, and these behaviors are thought to have evolved to promote cooperation and mutual support within groups. Empathy and altruism. Empathy, or the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, is a key element of human morality. It is not exclusive to religious individuals. Secular people often act morally because they can empathize with others and recognize that causing harm to others is detrimental to both the individual and society. Altruism, or selfless concern for others, also appears in both religious and non-religious contexts. Moral psychology. Psychologists like Jonathan Haidt have suggested that much of our moral reasoning is based on innate psychological structures that help humans navigate social relationships. These moral foundations include fairness, loyalty, authority, sanctity, and care. While the specific interpretation of these foundations might differ across cultures and religions, the basic capacity for moral judgment seems to be a universal human trait. Morality is not limited to religious traditions or societies. Many cultures have developed their own systems of ethics and moral codes that are secular in nature, but still emphasize values like justice, compassion, and responsibility. Secular societies like those in many Western countries, for example Europe, Canada, and parts of the United States, often have laws and social norms that promote individual rights, equality, and justice without necessarily being grounded in religious beliefs. Cultural norms in societies with non-religious or pluralistic traditions, such as Confucianism in China or Buddhism in certain regions, offer ethical guidance that is not dependent on a monotheistic deity, but still emphasizes virtuous living, respect for others, and the importance of social harmony. While it's true that many religious traditions offer moral guidelines, it's important to note that moral behavior in religious contexts is typically tied to the belief in a divine authority, scriptures, or the afterlife. However, even religious people sometimes face moral dilemmas that can be addressed through reason or secular ethics, rather than religious doctrine. Religious morality often provides a sense of absolute moral rules, like "thou shalt not kill" in the Abrahamic faiths, but secular morality might arrive at similar conclusions based on reasoning about human rights, harm, and well-being, even without invoking divine authority. Moral diversity within and between religions also suggests that moral principles are not inherently dependent on any one religious framework. For example, different religious traditions might have varied teachings on issues like the nature of marriage, the treatment of animals, or the definition of justice. Many scholars argue that morality is a natural or innate feature of human beings. Developmental psychologists like Lawrence Kohlberg have shown that children go through stages of moral development, moving from self-centered behavior to an understanding of fairness, justice, and social responsibility. This suggests that humans have an intrinsic capacity for moral reasoning, which is not dependent on religion. Research in moral development shows that children often have an inherent understanding of fairness, even before they are exposed to formal religious teachings. They can distinguish between right and wrong based on the consequences of actions for others, demonstrating that morality is not solely a product of religious education. The fact that some moral-like behaviors appear in non-human animals, like empathy, cooperation, and fairness, further challenges the idea that morality is solely a religious construct. For instance, chimpanzees and bonobos exhibit behaviors like sharing food, consoling distressed companions, and resolving conflicts through reconciliation, all of which suggest that moral behaviors can arise from social dynamics rather than religious teachings. Morality is a complex and multifaceted aspect of human life that is not limited to religious individuals. While religions often provide moral frameworks and codes of conduct, secular people also develop moral beliefs through philosophical reasoning, empathy, evolutionary instincts, and cultural norms. The capacity for moral behavior appears to be a deeply ingrained part of human nature, not confined to any one worldview. Therefore, both religious and non-religious individuals can be moral, and their morality can be shaped by a variety of influences, both religious and secular.